Welcome to the Karuna Trees YouTube channel. My name is Veda Spidle and this is Gentle Yoga, Sound Healing, and Meditation. For today's class, you'll want to have 2 blocks, a few blankets. If you don't have enough blankets, you can use bath towels instead. Any extra props that you need for Shavasana for the rest at the end, you might want to have your favorite blanket, some pillows, your eye pillow. And if you're choosing to stay after the hour for the later 15 minutes, we will be doing meditation. So I recommend, if you do have your mala, that you have your mala nearby for the meditation portion. So we'll do the sound healing at the end. We'll come up from that and we'll sit into meditation. If you don't have a mala, you can still do the mantra chanting with me. I'll keep track of it and you can just sit in meditation. So we will start seated today. And sitting in a way that is comfortable for you. Closing the eyes or taking a soft gaze. Take a full breath in, gently suspend the breath at the top. And sigh it out. The exhales reminding us to release control. Let's do one more. And let it go. And feel yourself begin to settle into the space that you're in. If there's any distractions that show up, do your best to allow them to fade into the background. Settle into your body, energetically feeling your sitting bones deeply rooted, maybe visualizing them wrapping around the core of the earth. Your roots planted, the earth holding you. And from that support, growing a little taller, top of the head towards the sky. And soften the muscles around the eyes, the jaw, and behind the ears. Relax at the base of the neck. And feel yourself breathing. Feeling how the breath is a connection, a reminder to each other, to everything around us. And also to ourselves. Feel how the breath connects you to you. Placing one hand on the lower abdomen, one hand on heart center. Deepening the breath, allowing the inhale to build from the base up and from the top down. Continuing now to breathe in and out of the nose, feeling the breath build up, feeling the breath go. Keep the breath moving. Every cycle, a deeper connection to yourself. And then taking the hand from the lower abdomen, stacking it on top of the hand that's on heart center, feeling your heartbeat. And the heart chakra, the energy wheel represented by the heart center. Its seed mantra, its seed sound is Yam. I invite you to sing 3 rounds with me, the same way that we sing Om, or a similar way. Let's first inhale together. Let it go. And inhale for Yam. Yam. Keeping the breath full. Releasing the hands to the lap. Eyes can remain closed. If you wish, you can change the cross of the legs. If you're sitting cross-legged, you don't have to be. And then taking the fingertips to heart center, to the chest, and begin tapping. And you want to feel an echo of the tapping through the chest. Follow your inner guidance here. If you want to tap lower, down to the ribs, across the chest, the collarbones, the neck, paying attention to what you need. The tapping helps to bring attention to the area that you're working with. It helps to move stagnant energy. Also can help with increasing blood circulation to the area where you're tapping. A few more breaths. Continue to tap. And then bring the hands together at heart center, interlacing the fingers, creating a light clasp. Elbows relax towards the ribs. Continue to sit tall. And then draw a sideways number 8 with the wrists. It's the infinity symbol. Let this movement be fluid. Reverse direction. And then rest the back of the hands on the knees, palms up. Open and close the hands a few times as if you're squeezing sponges. And then arms loose by your sides. Shake out the arms and take a few shoulder shrugs. Inhale, squeeze the shoulders up. Exhale, let them drop. 2 more. Bring the soles of the feet together, drop the knees open away from each other, support underneath the outer edges of the legs if needed. There should be no pulling or pain on the inner thigh or groin area. A little bit of stretching is okay. And then release the arms out by your sides. Make sure you have space on either side of you. Inhale the arms up, sweep them up overhead, the palms touch, and exhale down to heart center. And do this a few more times. You can close the eyes. You can breathe up to the heart space. And feel the movement, this movement through the upper body. A few more. Bringing our awareness to heart center. Breathing like this helps to work the lungs in tandem with the movement. About 2 to 3 more. Opening up the lungs. Opening up across the chest. 1 more. And then hands come to heart center. Float the elbows up so the forearms are relatively parallel to the floor. Retract the shoulder blades. Inhale here. And as you exhale, glide the arms to the right, keeping the forearms parallel to the floor. I'm mirroring you. Inhale, come through center. And then over to the other side as you let the breath go. Do this a few more times, letting the arms slide side to side horizontally. Keeping the palms touching. And when that feels even to both sides, the hands return to midline. Keep the palms touching. Inhale here. Exhale, rotate at the forearms, the fingertips away from you. Maybe the fingertips point towards the floor. Inhale, bring the hands back up into Anjali Mudra. And then exhale, rotate, fingertips towards the floor. 2 more. Keep relaxed at the neck. Keep the shoulder blades together or towards each other. Beautifully done. releasing the hands to the knees. Now keep the right hand on the knee, left hand behind you. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, begin to twist to the left. As you do, slide the hand. So we don't want to press down on the knee with the right hand. You want the action of the hand sliding out as if the thigh bone was extending out. Gentle opening in the hip. The twist all the way up through the neck. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, change the hands. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist to the left. Oh, to the right. Keep breathing. Bring it back to center. Release the hands to the knees. Take a full breath here, up to the heart space. And then bring the knees towards each other, the feet wide, toes point forward. Lean back on the hands for one-legged windshield wipers. Take a gentle back bend here. Elevate the heart and drop one knee in and down at a time. About 2 more on each side. Keep the heart lifted. And then from here, heel toe the feet in towards each other, transition to table. If you have your blocks, you can put them on the front 2 corners of your mat. Maybe opening up a blanket across the center of your mat to support the knees. Shoulders are stacked over the wrists, fingers are wide. Hips are stacked over the knees, tops of the feet to the floor. Inhale, scoop the tailbone up. Belly drops, heart gaze lifts. Exhale, tuck the tailbone around the spine and press your hips to heels, feeling the stretch on the tops of the ankles, taking a gentle bow. Inhale, glide forward. Tailbone scoops up, belly drops, heart reaches forward. Exhale, round the spine, press your hips to heels. Keep going. Feeling this movement through the whole spine, feeling energy moving through the body. When you inhale, the heart opens forward energetically, and as you exhale, we bow. With that exhale, release anything that doesn't serve you. One more. Bring yourself up to table, tuck the toes under. Now we do the same movement, feeling a stretch a little bit differently in the feet and the ankles. Inhale. Then as you exhale, round and press hips to heels. Bow. Keep going. And sometimes we get into these grooves in our lives where we might feel like we are just showing up, not to our true selves, not authentically. So let your movements here, let your breath kind of, wash away any of the disguises that you feel that you're wearing that aren't authentic to you. Clear that. Bring yourself up to table, soften the heart towards the floor, untuck the toes, and bring the legs in towards midline to touch, widen the hands, and rock the hips side to side for your hip release. Keep the hands and knees in contact with the floor, remaining connected to your breath. One more to each side. Come back to center, either taking child's pose, big toes touch, knees wide. Sit back to the heels. You can put a blanket or pillow between your hips and heels. Sit back first, and then forehead down to the floor, to your hands or to a block. If that doesn't feel good on the knees, you can take puppy instead. From table, you would keep the hips over the knees, bow forward, forehead to the floor. Whichever you're taking, that you take this opportunity to focus in on yourself, the you inside of you, the you behind all of your to-do lists, the you behind anything that we run into every day. the you behind the labels. The true you. And as we reach that place within us, as it becomes easier to be there, to see our authentic selves, then we bring that back into everything that we do. We infuse it into our lives. Hands pressed to the floor. Bring yourself up to table. Let the breath go. Hands go to the blocks, or blocks come to the hands. Grab your blocks. And then wrists relatively underneath the shoulders. If you don't need your blocks here, that's fine. Tuck the toes under, step the right leg through between the hands, lift the back knee up, lunge. Soften across the heart center. Relax at the base of the neck, but neck is still holding the head. And then inhale here. Exhale, straighten the front leg and fold. Continue this movement. The inhale, front knee bends. The exhale, the leg straightens, maybe you bow. And then the front knee bends. You can keep your right hand on the block as you spin the back heel in and down, building side angle. Front heel to back arch alignment. Front knee stays over its ankle, left hand to the left hip. And then your hand can stay on the block or your right forearm can come up to the right thigh. As you open up to the left, scoop your right sitting bone under. Let the shoulders stack. Maybe the left arm reaches up to the sky. Keep the breath moving. Either keeping the hand where it is or bring the hand to heart center and let the heart open up towards the hand, the gaze up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Observing any sensations that are arising. One more breath. And now slowly look down towards the floor, grab your blocks if you're using them, and bring the right hand to the inside of the right leg. The legs are still in the same alignment as they were. And then take your left hand to the left hip again, straighten the front leg, triangle, open up the chest, and maybe again the left arm to the sky or the left hand to heart center. If you want to try something a little bit different here with the bottom hand, you can also hold above the ankle. Keep breathing. Feeling the stability, the support beneath you, and from that place, we open a little bit more. And then looking down again, rebend the front knee, hands go to the blocks, and walk your upper body out at an angle. So it looks like a downward facing dog with the upper body. Blocks or not, either is fine. Front knee still remains over its ankle. You're pressing through the outer edge of the back foot. Lengthen the spine, relax the heart down towards the floor. So make sure that your blocks don't feel like they're going to slide. You want to feel that your hands are pressing down. And then walk the blocks to the left, straighten the right leg, spin it in so you're in a wide-legged stance. Toes point forward or slightly in pigeon-toed. Now you can still have your blocks underneath the hands. I'll be continuing to demonstrate with them. Inhale, lengthen the spine, heart to the horizon. Exhale, gently fold. You might choose to stack the blocks, placing your forehead or the top of the head to the blocks depending on where your body is at today. And hands can go in line with the feet. Hands can be out in front of you, kind of like a downward dog. See what feels best for you. We're here for a few more breaths. Anything that needs to be washed away here, let it go with the exhale. Imagine it washing down the arms, the fingertips into the earth. She can transmute it. Another breath. And then walk the hands in. Grab your blocks if you need them. Lengthen the spine, half lift, let the breath go. And now spin towards the back of your mat by bending the left knee, spinning the left foot, the left toes point now away from you. Walk the blocks at an angle. We're facing the back of the mat, and bring yourself into lunge, facing now the back of your mat. Hips are squared. Bring the left hand to the left hip, lunge twist. Open the heart to the left, maybe the left arm to the sky or the left hand to heart center. Inhale here. Exhale, slowly release to lunge. Back knee touches down, and then left knee comes into table. Hands can stay on the blocks. Take a deep breath in. Sigh to release control and judgment. Inhale, love. Good work. Let's do the other side. Tuck the toes under. Step the left leg through between the hands. Lift the back knee. Lunge. Lengthen the spine. Inhale here. Exhale, straighten the front leg and maybe fold. Few more here. Few more breaths. You can move or not depending on what you did on the other side. So we want to try to match what we did earlier if possible. But most importantly, that you're taking care of you. One more. Front knee bends, back heel spins in and down, build side angle. Trying to build the same variation that you built on the other side. Relaxing the jaw, the gaze, breathing up to the heart. Maybe the top hand, your right hand, is on the heart center. Every breath helps you to connect to you. Feeling yourself in your body, feeling the mind resting on the breath, feeling your heartbeat. And slowly looking down. Hands go to the blocks. Keep the legs as they are. Take your left block if you have it, or your hand to the inside of the left leg. Straighten the left leg. Right hand to the hip. Begin to open up again, taking triangle. If you need to keep a slight bend in the front knee, that's fine. Honor your body. If your back foot turns in a little bit, that's okay too. Another breath. Slowly release the hand down. Re-bend the front knee. Walk your upper body out again at an angle. So front knee, or your left knee in this case, is staying over its ankle. Back foot is still pressing down through the outer edge. Upper body elongated. Heart relaxes towards the earth. Feeling every inhale, every exhale. Anytime that you find your mind wandering, refocus on your breath. Dive inward, focus on your heartbeat. Now we slowly straighten the left leg. Continue to walk to the right as you straighten the left leg in. Toes point forward for your wide-legged forward fold. You can also do a slight pigeon toe here on the feet. Make sure they're in line with each other. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, slowly fold. You can keep the hands on the blocks, on the floor. If you'd like, this time you can interlace the fingers, lengthen the spine again, and the fingers are interlaced in a clasp, and then top of the head towards the floor to a block as the clasp reaches to the sky. If it's ever too much pressure on your head, you can always be lifted halfway and have your hands on the floor or the blocks. Wherever you're at, we have a few more moments. Embracing the slowing down, this time to observe yourself, to give space for the mind to unwind, so more of your true self can shine. Hands to the floor, the blocks. Inhale, half lift. Exhale here. And then continue now, returning to the front of the mat as you walk the blocks to the right. The right leg spins forward, the right knee bends, and then keep going until you bring yourself into lunge. Hips are squared forward now. Lengthen the spine. Right hand to the hip. With your inhale, open the heart to the right arm to the sky, or maybe the hand to the heart. Inhale here. Exhale, slowly release to lunge. Back knee touches down. Come into table. Stay like this for a moment. Check in with your breath. And then from here, you can move the blocks off to the side, taking puppy, child's pose, downward facing dog. See what calls out to you. What do you need? We have a few more rounds of breath. And it's okay if some of the movement that shows up feels spontaneous, or if it's something that I didn't suggest, but you want to do it, that's okay. Follow what you need. And do it safely. And we all return to table. From here, come down onto your belly. If you want to open up one of your blankets on your practice space, it's a good time to do it. Okay. And bringing yourself down. Now, if you have any pressure on your knees when you're laying down like this, I recommend putting some type of support underneath the ankles, still letting the big toenail touch down to the floor. And then stacking your hands or forearms, creating a pillow for your forehead. Easeful breaths. You can stay like this if this is enough for you. Otherwise, we build baby cobra, forehead to the floor. Hands go in alignment with the chest, palms down, elbows point back. Engage the muscles of the legs, hugging the muscles to the bone. Legs hug in towards midline. Tops of the feet press down. Try to still keep the knees on the floor. Inhale, and as you do, use the leverage of the hands to pull the heart forward. All right, so you're pulling on the mat, the heart pushes forward. Lifting the gaze, shoulder blades are towards each other down the back. Then maybe lifting the legs. And if you want more, keep the integrity across the shoulders and the arms and float the hands. Keep breathing. Another breath. And then slowly release. You can create again a pillow for your forehead or rest onto your right ear, arms by your sides, palms up. Deep breath in. Let it go. Breathe. Now this time is going to be a little bit different. You can stay as you are or bring your forehead to center. Interlace the hands at the low back for a clasp. Thumb pads press. Engage the legs. Draw the shoulder blades together and down the back. Inhale, lift the head, the heart, maybe the legs as you reach out through the tips of the toes. The clasp is reaching towards the feet. The heart reaching forward. Two more breaths. See if the legs can lift a little bit higher. The heart lifts a little bit more. And then slowly release. You can release on your left ear, arms by your sides, palms up, or again, forehead to center. Relax the whole body. And see what you notice in these quiet spaces. We bring the forehead to center. Press yourself up through table and then back into child's pose or puppy. We'll be here for a little bit, relaxing the spine, relaxing at heart center. Surrender anything that is ready to go. Every breath helps you to see with more clarity, helps you to connect to the true you. A few more breaths. And the hands press into the floor. Bring yourself up to table. Let the breath go. And then from here, come onto your seat with your legs both straight out in front of you. You can sit up on some support, especially if you feel that there's tightness in your low back or your hamstrings. And then put support underneath the knees if you're sitting up higher or if your hamstrings are tight. Now the support can be blocks, it can be pillows, it can be blankets, any of that is fine. Walk one hip back and then the other. You might also choose to use your hands to move the glutes out from underneath you to root down through the sitting bones. Now hands go in line with the hips, palms forward, fingertips, just kidding, not palms forward, palms down, fingertips forward, lengthen the spine. If this is too much for you, lean back and on the hands. And point and flex the feet. Keep the gaze soft, resting your awareness on the heart. And toes point upright. This is enough, stay here. Otherwise, hands can be on the legs or on either side of the legs. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, gently fold forward. Inhale, sit up. Exhale, bow. So it's not about going, it's not about forcing yourself to fold. Is that we create this fluid, easeful movement with the breath, feeling ourselves bowing. Feeling ourselves opening with the inhale, bowing with the exhale. If it feels okay for your low back, you can bring in the arms here up overhead on the inhale. And as you exhale, they reach forward and maybe touch down to the shins. Keep the spine elongated. The inhale, the arms can reach up. And the exhale, they can help you to bow. Remember, if it's too much on your low back, don't do this variation. Honor yourself. One more. And then we sit up tall, hands to either side of the hips, and then slowly the feet to the floor. Blocks or support can move off to the side. Bring the legs in as close as available to you, giving yourself a hug, wrapping your arms or your hands or your forearms around the knees, or you can just simply have your hands to the base of the knees. And then we bow, we hug, tucking the tailbone, rounding the spine, maybe the forehead towards the knees or the arms. If it doesn't feel good on the head, keep the head up. And then sit up tall, hands behind you. Keep the knees bent, separate the feet, toes point forward, lift the heart. Eyes can close. Elevating yourself here, another breath. And then again, giving yourself a hug, drawing inward. And once more, hands behind you. Lift the heart. Let yourself open. Sharing your true, authentic self with those around you. Being your true, authentic self through experiences, through situations. Deep breath in. Side out. And then slowly walk yourself upright. And come onto your back. Have your props off to the side. Two ways to come down. You can use your hands, bring yourself onto your back, or a little bit of core work here. Arms go up by your sides or up by the in the sky. Hug the shoulder blades together so the heart elevates. And then once your shoulder blades are hugging in, tuck the tailbone and one vertebra at a time. Slowly lower down. Try to keep the feet on the floor. And once you've lowered down, hug the knees into the chest. Again, giving yourself a hug. Oftentimes we don't do that enough. Acknowledging ourselves. Rocking side to side. Come back to center, draw knee circles. Reverse direction. And hug the knees again into the chest. Take a full body stretch. And draw the right knee into the chest, hugging it in. Keep breathing. Another full body stretch. Hug the left knee in, squeeze it in. Full body stretch. And then release the arms by your sides, bend the knees, building for bridge. Keep the back of the head on the floor. If you need a little bit of support here, that's okay, but try not to lift your head too high. That can strain the neck. We want the ankles to land under the knees or as close as possible to under the knees. Bring the heels in as close as you can to the body. And then bring the arms into robot arms. Palms face each other, fingertips point up. Back of the arms are pressing down. Use that leverage to tuck the shoulder blades under. The heart elevates a little bit more. And now press down through the feet. Float the hips up, ribs up, heart up. Bridge. Exhale, slowly releasing one vertebra at a time until the hips touch down. And continue this movement. The inhale, hips up, ribs up, heart up, up, up. And exhale, slowly releasing down. Keep going. Find a rhythm with the movement and the breath. One more. And hug the knees into the chest. Maybe float the forehead up to meet the knees. Full body stretch. And draw the right knee into the chest, give it a squeeze, and then place the right foot down to the floor, setting up for a twist. Now press down through the right foot, float the hips up and to the right a few inches, hips down. Bottom leg turns with you as you use your left hand on the right knee to guide the leg across the body. Hips stack, bottom leg turns with you. And then bring the right arm out to the right, palm up. Maybe the gaze to the right. And breathe here. Relax the jaw. Embrace the quiet spaces. Spending time with yourself. back to center. Exhale, readjust to midline. Take a full body stretch. And draw the left knee in, squeeze it in. And then left foot to the floor. Press down through the left foot, hips float up into the left, hips down. And then the bottom leg turns with you. Take your right hand to the left knee as you guide the knee across, the hip stack. Left arm stretches out, gaze to the left. Easeful breaths here. Keep breathing. Bring it back to center. Readjust to midline, full body stretch. And then arms released by your sides, and now going into a restorative bridge. Feet to the floor, knees are bent. Press and grab your block. Now, if at any point your block is going to feel like, if it feels like it's too much on your body, you can use a folded blanket, you can use a pillow. Press down through the feet to float the hips up and place the block, your pillow or a blanket, underneath the hips to support. Now we want to feel the hips supported, the sacrum, the bone between the hips supported, and the block is not pressing into the low back. There's space between the low back and the floor. Tuck the shoulder blades under a little bit more. Nose is pointing up towards the sky. The palms are open. And you'll be here for a few minutes. If you want to stretch the legs out, you can. If it feels like it's too much pressure under the knees, then re-bend the legs, feet to the floor. Also, if that's too much pressure on the back, you want to have the feet then to the floor. Feeling the heart elevated, buoyant. The eyes close or soft gaze. Easeful breaths here. That's you. Supported in your practice by each other, by your breath. This is you showing up for you. Embrace the stillness, allowing whatever needs to come up to the surface to show up so that it can be witnessed. Once it's witnessed, it's integrated, and then it can be let go. Just breathe. This is you being with you. I'm going to play the heart bowl. See if you can rest your awareness on your heart space. Slowly, awareness comes back enough to make a transition to Shavasana. So if you're in bridge, slowly press down through the feet, float the hips up, move the hip support out from under you, release the hips down to the floor. You can do windshield wipers, you can hug the knees to the chest, a full body stretch. Tune into what you need. For Shavasana, you can take the traditional Shavasana laying flat on your back, stretching the legs out in front of you. You can add support underneath the knees. Another option here for today, since we're working with is connecting to ourselves, our heart space, you can also take a blanket, fold it up a little bit so it looks something like a long rectangle. Place it behind you. You can also put support down beyond that for the head, leaving space between the two blankets. Laying down so that the first blanket is behind heart center at the bottom tips of the shoulder blades, feeling a lift at the heart, and the arms can go between the two blankets. The one blanket supporting the head, one behind heart center, maybe support under the knees, and the legs can stretch out, or the legs can be elevated on pillows, or the feet to the floor, knees bent. So choosing a position that feels right for you at this moment. And as you settle in, I want to read to you the translation and the interpretation by Jennifer Williamson from Healing Brave on the mantra that we'll be doing after Shavasana. So begin to settle in. So we'll be doing the mantra Samprati Hum. And this translates as, the present moment is my true self. And she writes, I don't need more to be complete. I am whole right now. I don't need this moment to be anything other than what it is. It is enough right now. I can trust myself by looking within for what I seek. By being here and being grateful now, I can feel truly alive in the present moment. I can appreciate the joy of simply being here. If something feels missing in your life, it might be you. Your presence is your power. Take a deep breath in. Let it go. Settle into your rest, releasing control of the body, control of the gripping and the tension. Relax. Let the breath come and go on its own. Feel your heartbeat. Samprati Hum. The present moment is my true self. Rest here in this moment. Be with yourself. Awareness returns to the heartbeat. To the body, the breath. Keeping the eyes closed, enjoy a slow awakening, moving and stretching in a way that feels good for you. Taking your time to roll over onto your comfortable side, curling into the fetal position. Deepening the breath here. You can stay here for as long as you need to. If you feel ready to press yourself up into a meditative seat, slowly transition. For those of you that can only stay an hour, we'll share a namaste, bringing the hands together and bowing head to heart. Namaste. If you're continuing on, the eyes are closed, grabbing your mala. I won't go over too much on how to use a mala, as that's in a different video, but if you have questions later, you can always reach out. If you have your mala, you want your guru bead, the bead that designates the center of the mala. It's the bead that means that which brings us from darkness to light. That is guru. That guru bead, the one that designator, you never cross over it. So you start it with it facing you, and you have your mala draped over your middle finger. Each time we say the mantra, the specific phrase that we're using in this case, it's in Sanskrit phrase, Samprati Hum. Each time we use a bead to count that, and our thumb will move one bead at a time. Now, if you have your mala, or you can just bring your hands together, we infuse the mala with our intention of positivity, of honoring our true, authentic selves. This infuses the mala, this sacred counting tool, this beautiful sacred piece that also is said to protect us when worn. Another breath, infusing your mala, remaining in that meditative space from Shavasana, that restful place. Samprati Hum, the present moment is my true self, sitting tall. Readjusting if you need to, closing the eyes. You can bring your gaze to the third eye, or you can rest your attention on the heart. And we'll begin. Samprati Hum, 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 Samprati Hum. Reaching the Guru bead. Remaining in the meditative state, you can have your mala in your hands. If you have one, you can put it around your neck. Just sit in quiet reflection, quiet meditation. I'm going to rock here side to side, just in case if you look at the screen that you know this live stream is still connected. And keep the eyes closed, keep breathing. Allowing yourself to go further inward. Acknowledging the you inside of you. Beyond all the labels. Beyond all of our tasks and our identities. Beyond our emotions. The true you. In this moment, be with you. If your mind has wandered, tune back into yourself. Let your awareness drop below your thoughts, drop deeper within. If you find that there is internal discomfort with sitting quietly, observe the discomfort. Acknowledge it, witness it, be curious about it. See what happens. Few more breaths here. Just receiving again the reading. Notice how it resonates for you. Samprati Hum. The present moment is my true self. I don't need more to be complete. I am whole right now. I don't need this moment to be anything other than what it is. It is enough right now. I can trust myself by looking within for what I seek. By being here and being grateful now, I can feel truly alive in the present moment. I can appreciate the joy of simply being here. And if something feels missing in your life, it might be you. Your presence is your power. Bringing the hands together at the heart. Your presence is your power. Feel your presence. Feel yourself here in this moment. And know that you can reconnect to yourself again and again. This opportunity is always here. Give yourself that space. We'll close with a single sound of Yam. Receive your breath. Yam. Bowing head to heart in honor of each other, ourselves, and this practice. Samprati Hum. Thank you so much for sharing energetically with each other and with me. It is an honor to guide you. Namaste.